Welcome back to Heal My Cosmos. I'm Jenny Lee, your host, and we are talking about the Leo full moon on February 1st, 2026, happening at 13 degrees of Leo. So I'm going to go over my forecast for this full moon. The moon is the only personal planet not in Aquarius during this full moon. That's a lot of planets. Since the moon is the emotional record keeper of everything that's ever happened to us, in the sign of Leo, at this climax point, we are being called to remember all of the times that we didn't feel we fit in to any one group. The times in which we felt alone, even when we felt proud of who we had become. The times when the strong, prideful lion, that is Leo, felt like a lone wolf, are the moments in their life that were the most defining. The times in which true character was built and a new vibration of authenticity was sent streaming into the universe to eventually be met in resonance by another, and ultimately forming a new community of like-minded souls. The sun in Aquarius, directly opposing the full moon in Leo at 13 degrees, reminds us that there are new groups forming right now. There are chosen families being built and communities finding each other for the very first time. Each prior lone wolf, identifying lion, is being challenged to ask themselves if they truly want to continue on with that identity of the lone wolf? Or are there people that you feel are calling to connect with you in a way that you never thought possible? Are you being called to start a group, perhaps, to introduce friends, to create an online community that you actually look forward to reading notifications from? All of these questions are streaming in during this full moon in Leo. There are 4 other planets in Aquarius besides the Sun during the full moon. Venus and Mercury are conjunct each other, chatting it up about how we can take our core values and start conversations about them with others that spark progressive action towards a future that benefits all of humanity. Mars is coming off his conjunction with Pluto only 4 days before this full moon. It was such a monumental moment in time for these 2 brother planets, one being the big brother, Pluto, having a sit down with little brother, Mars, instilling his wisdom that real lasting change takes the thorough breaking down of the old to see and expose the root of the problem in order to build something that won't create the same problems all over again. Mars is in the process of moving on with that wisdom in the forefront of his mind. Mars is forever changed from the sit down that he had with Pluto, and therefore so are we. We take the time, if we take the time, to get conscious about it. We have each seen the light about something in our lives this past week. What is no longer worth our mental energy? What cycle of insanity has stopped that we aren't willing to start again, no matter how hard it feels? Mercury, our messenger planet in the sign of Aquarius, is also sextile or has an opportunity with Chiron in Aries during this full moon. Chiron is our collective soul wound. Mercury in Aquarius is group consciousness, and Chiron in Aries is vulnerability and individuality. There is an opportunity here to each individual in the group to choose to be vulnerable with the opportunity to see how relatable their individual experience actually is. Jupiter, our benevolent planet of expansion and blessings, is conjunct or actually sitting on top of the ascendant of this full moon chart, gifting each of us a new pair of glasses to look at the world through. We must very bravely take this opportunity to look out at the world with beginner's eyes. We must allow ourselves to see how our own individual upbringing has created each person that makes up the world that we live in, and make the conscious choice to do something that contributes to our own emotional healing in relation to our own personal family lineage. We must do the work it takes to call forward the version of ourselves that is not showing up with the emotional baggage of all of our ancestors. We must come current with our emotions as best as we can and trust wholeheartedly that that is what the world needs now. The boundary ruling planet Saturn sits at the top or the midheaven of this full moon chart in the late degrees of unity-driven Pisces, in a sextile or opportunity aspect with the insightful and fast evolving planet Uranus, in the slow but steady sign of Taurus. There is an opportunity for us to stabilize during all of this destabilizing energy. We must not miss the forest for the trees as we witness the chaos around us. We must remember the higher purpose of all of this, which is a felt sense of unity in our human experience. Both Saturn in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus are finishing up their respective time in Pisces and Taurus. This signals a leveling up of maturity for all of us if we choose it. We aren't yet living the experience we want to be living, but can we step into the mind of those people that will be? Make decisions from that higher mind. Stand still, uncomfortably, instead of taking action on shaky ground. The planet that connects us with our higher self, Neptune, has just recently moved into the sign of initiation and new chapters, Aries, 5 days before this full moon. Still conjunct Saturn as well as the midheaven of this full moon chart, symbolizing bringing its message to the masses. Neptune in Aries wants to dissolve war with unconditional love, and Saturn's involvement in late Pisces is trying to bring structure to that powerful spiritual intention that Neptune is holding. How can we as individuals embody that message of dissolving war with unconditional love in a structured way that does have boundaries in place? Be sure to opt into my full moon in Leo guided meditation and energy release video if you are wanting support in finding your way into deeper alignment with your future and your higher future self and everything that you're being guided to step into through this full moon portal. $8 a month subscription to Heal My Cosmos not only supports my work, but gives you that kind of support during both the full and the new moon every single month. So it gives you a chance to start to work with the cycle of the moon and be very intentional about the energy you're working with and how the planets are supporting you in stepping into your greatness, right? Your highest potential. So I hope to see you there. The guided meditation and energy release video is always released a couple days after this forecast. And so keep your eyes peeled on your email as well as on wherever you're listening to this podcast. Thank you for being here. Be sure to subscribe, share this video with anyone you feel like needs some support and maybe validation around what they've been going through. And be sure to comment and let me know what you think. Let me know what resonated and what didn't. I appreciate every single one of you for taking the time to join me on this podcast and on this journey of souls that we've chosen to align with together. Okay, thank you so much.